Welcome back, people. It is episode 44, season 2 of the Taxi Squad podcast. Happy Halloween. Happy Christmas music. All I want for Christmas is, in fact, the pod.
That's back,
right?
dude. I forgot about
It's
that.
back. It's back. Vince, we're many miles apart now, but last week we were together, but we're back as always. How the hell are you?
Dude, I'm so good. It is really cold out here. You did send a kind of a mean-spirited Snapchat to me where you're like, oh, it's 80 degrees. It snowed on Christmas.
This is like why you live out here. It's like perfect. It snowed on Christmas?
It snowed on Christmas. It snowed yesterday. Yesterday was
Halloween.
Tuesday, in case people want to know. It's not.
It's November 1st today, people.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's it'll drop November 2nd. Yeah.
We all know how this works. It snowed and it wasn't great for the kids, but they were out there doing it all. I don't know about you, but this seems like the first year post-COVID where like trick-or-treating's actually back.
Did you have trick-or-treaters?
So they can't because there's no like access to my upstairs. But they close off all of Southport essentially, and then it's just like trick-or-treating haven.
Cute.
It's pretty cute. It is really cool. But
it's like Halloween Town. That was a Disney movie.
Yeah. Marnie Piper, dude. I know that. I know that damn movie. Yeah, come on.
Marnie Piper. If you're a '90s kid, you know all about Halloween Town.
Better goddamn believe. What's your favorite Disney Channel original movie, Mike?
Ooh, man, probably Sky High.
Ooh, what a poll.
Sky High was probably my favorite overall Disney Channel original.
Okay.
Kurt Russell was in that movie. Fun fact, kids. Fuck yeah, Google it.
That's so random. That's awesome.
But I mean, seriously, if you're going to pull a rando, that's the rando you pull.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
I was always a Brink kid.
Brink,
yeah, with the rollerbladers, and they had to rollerblade.
Yeah,
they had to rollerblade down that hill, and then one of them ate it, and the guy's like, "I gotta go help him out," and then he lost the race, but he helped the guy out. It was so classic Disney Channel original movie bullshit. It was so good.
Wasn't like the first kid a Disney Channel original too with Sinbad? And he was like, man, he's like
the first kid.
I gotta watch The President's Kid, man.
There was My Date with the President's Daughter. That one I do know.
No. The first kid was a movie about Sinbad where he's the bodyguard for the president's kid.
Really?
And then, and then there was the original Shazam, even though the Mandela Effect will tell you Sinbad wasn't in that movie. He was in that fucking movie.
Wasn't
Sinbad
Shaq in Shazam, the second one?
Per the Mandela Effect, there was only one Shazam film.
Wait, wasn't Shaq in one?
That they say that's the only one, but it's bullshit.
I get tripped up by the Mandela Effect constantly.
The Mandela Effect. Do you remember in the Disney movies growing up as a kid that Tinkerbell would come around and she'd put the eye in Disney with the thing? They say that doesn't exist either.
That's garbage. We talked about that on Unrelated for a while, and like the Berenstain Bears and all that shit. I'm like, I don't know. I think they changed that just to have a Mandela Effect about it. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I'm not the dumb one. I'm not the dumb one.
I don't know.
Dude.
Either that or they turned on CERN, and then CERN started conspiracy podcast. CERN started throwing the world out of whack, and all the memories of your childhood are now skewed, and we're living in an alternate reality, and all of this is just a giant simulation.
That could be it.
We're not even here.
Yeah, we're here to talk about sports.
I could bend through this camera and pull out Vince's vape. Hit a little here.
I swallowed it. The reason we watch sports is because we want to avoid thinking about any of the other bullshit that we have to think about. That's
correct.
The beauty of it. So
it's a beautiful distraction in the world of everyday life.
Yeah.
And we're just blessed we get to talk about it once a week, right?
Why don't I know more about politics? Because I can recite like at least 10 guys that have hit over 300 home runs, and that's
right.
How much I got in my head,
right.
dude.
Why would I pay attention to politics? Maybe because it does in fact matter about our everyday lives, more so your local election for the record. But I would say this much. I mean, sports is just far more entertaining. You can gamble on it now, right?
You got sportscasters saying bad words. You got people out there You got people out there literally.
Got former NFL stars rocking around with millions of dollars in ones on his way to the strip club. Maybe.
I think that brings us to Strange and Unusual, is it not?
What a segue today, man.
I know.
That was, I mean, we just went full circle. But yeah, Vince, I mean, Strange and Unusual. You got the first one here. Why don't you bury this one?
Chris Broussard did a no, Mike. He did something
what did
that
he
you're
do?
not supposed to do.
On national television?
On national television with my least favorite guy.
I just love how ghetto Chris Broussard talks all the time. He's always like, man.
I mean, that's probably where he's from, if I'm not mistaken. That's probably
I don't know if he's necessarily from the kid. Yeah.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, he's probably from a place where that's more natural to his voice.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying, I dig the way the guy talks. But continue.
He was talking to Nick Wright, who might be the worst guy besides Colin Cowherd in all of sports media.
Nick Wright's pretty bad.
Yeah, Nick Wright is the most annoying man in my sports life. Chris Broussard was talking to him about James Harden, which we're going to get to in a little bit. Chris Broussard said, is this man not ridiculous, not redonkulous, but not going to say it.
Okay.
He said that word, and they said, you shouldn't use that word. And that's probably true. To which he replied, developmentally disabled, and then said that he had a family member who recently died that was developmentally disabled, which gives him a reason to say that on live TV. I'm still trying to figure out why. That's like, remember when Kevin Spacey was a pedophile? And then he was like, no, it's okay because I'm gay. And you're like, that's not the issue here.
No. It's fine that you're gay. It's just not okay that you touch kids. Now, like, for the record, like, comedians talk, like Shane Gillis talks about the fact that he has family members with Down syndrome. That's why it's not a bad thing.
Sure.
I always spent a lot of time with those kids growing up because I wanted to give back. And I always thought, like, people who look at them as if they're not just normal human beings like you and me are just absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not a fan of the word itself. So for him to say it on national television.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, too, is like Shane Gillis said it in a comedy special where it's like purposely supposed to be shocking. This was just like is he just, and you're like, Chris. And then he tried to walk it back, and you're like, you can't do that either.
You're burying a bigger hole, guy. You're burying a bigger one. Yeah, no, I mean, hey, he just got a little heated. And I mean, granted, it's about the Clippers acquiring James Harden.
Yeah.
Which in every sense of the word is not a very good idea for them at all. Looks like more of a business decision. Like, we'll get into the whole thought process of why the Clippers did this. But I mean, for fair record, his reaction is not like far off. Just probably shouldn't have gone down.
It's valid.
That rabbit hole, because the Clippers are just about to be a team of superstars that don't play.
Yeah, a lot of rest going on there.
There's a lot of rest.
A lot of.
I mean, how do you get that job? By the way, like, seriously, how do you get a job?
An NBA player?
Well, just
be good at basketball.
You were really good. No. Be really good at the NBA for, like, I don't know what, 7 years or almost a decade. And then you just get to a point like Ben Simmons, where he didn't play or do dick for like 2 years, got paid millions of dollars to bang supermodels and go on vacation. Like, how do I get this job?
It's kind of, he's all potential. People still see potential. Like, this guy's almost 30 now. I think he's like around my age.
He is scaring the shit out of 30 far more than he is 25. I'm just saying.
You're right.
And they were comparing this fucking guy to LeBron for how long?
Well, he came in with the same skill set as LeBron as a young man, but LeBron got better, and Ben Simmons hasn't gotten better.
Yeah, Ben Simmons has regressed aggressively, and not only that, but he is just a baby back bitch.
Yeah.
I can't stand the man. If you've been listening to the podcast from day one,
I was going to say, this isn't news. This isn't news. How much?
And I know hate's a strong word, but man, when the Bulls were like, we're potentially looking at, I'm like, oh God, no, I won't be a Bulls fan anymore.
No thanks.
Because it's difficult to be a Chicago sports fan. It's just like a fucking factory of sadness.
He's been all right this year, though, Mr. Ben Simmons.
What's he done? Vince, they've played 4 fucking games. What has he done?
He's the best player on the Nets. He's averaging
like
8, 10, and 8.
Kid
60% field goal percentage. Not a lot of points, but 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 8 points. Okay. He's a starter.
I think I'm far more excited about Victor Wembanyama. We'll talk about Victor Wembanyama.
Yes.
But the other side of the strange and unusual, which we did also talk about in the lead-in, retired NFL running back Edgerrin James. Edgerrin James in his time was an absolute fucking unit.
Edge, dude.
Played for the Colts, played
Monster.
for the Arizona Cardinals.
Should have won that Super Bowl with them, but that was Joseph Adai.
Yeah, should have won that Super Bowl with them, but was Joseph Adai. The GM, Jim Irsay, of the Indianapolis Colts is on record to say that he did give Edgerrin James his Super Bowl ring.
Good. I mean, to his credit, too, they had Marshall Faulk, then Edgerrin James, then Joseph Adai. That's a solid 3 running backs in a row.
Yeah, Joseph Adai wasn't the talent that Edgerrin James was, in my opinion.
Still pretty good, though.
Still serviceable. Now, granted, they had every major wide receiver on the planet between Reggie Wayne and
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison was
who
an
also has
dog
successful genes.
Dallas
too.
Clark. Very successful reproduction of that gentleman.
Was that Brandon Stokely, too? I think we talked about this last week, and I always just forget.
Yeah, there was a couple great white hypes on that team. There's Brandon Stokely, and then there was Dallas Clark, famous for not wearing gloves, by the way.
Yep, 44, right? 40.
Yeah,
he's in 44. The 40s playing tight end. I like that.
Terrible Jay-Z album, great tight end.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this much, though, that Edgerrin James may be going through the brain thing because he was on the X or Twitter and posted a video of himself driving around with $1 million in ones.
Yeah.
$1 bills, $1 million in $1 bills and a Chrysler Pacifica, which I believe there's laws against this shit that you can't do it.
Yeah, that's too much money to carry around.
Where's he going?
Maybe the strip club, trying to drop $1 million on the hose.
Hey, those are nice ladies.
The thing is with him too, though. Yeah, right.
You could
be a nice hoe, I guess.
Someone's daughter, Vince.
The thing is that he still works with the Colts to a point. Like he helped repair the relationship with the Colts and Jonathan Taylor, and he's still around, and then he just goes.
Is he on record for that?
Yeah, it's been a whole thing. It's been a whole thing that he
really
tried to help do that or explain to them whatever it may be. But yeah, that video was fucking hilarious. But I guess you can get in trouble when you have too much money on you. It's like conspiracy to something. I think it's anything more than $20,000 or something like that. You're
conspiracy to launder, potentially
something like that.
But where are you going? Can we conspiracy? Where are you going with this money?
The only place I can think of where you bring $1 bills is strip clubs.
Is a strip club, or maybe he just wanted to go deposit that in the bank and make it rain.
Or he wanted to buy a McLaren with all ones.
McLaren's more than $1 million, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, inflation's a motherfucker.
Well, no,
back
he's
in the day.
Put the taxation on my car.
I don't know if you pay cash. No, if you pay cash, you got to pay tax. I mean, regardless.
Yeah.
Unless you got a beneath the table sort of deal on the arm. I'm not paying tax.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of money to be driving around in a rental. I'm just saying.
Pacifica too, $1 million. You're in a Pacifica. Go get
in Indiana of all places too. Do you know Gary, Indiana, has the highest crime rate in the country?
I do know that. Yes, per capita, I do know that. It's not the best place in the world.
No, and it used to be booming. Business was booming in Gary for a very long time.
Wasn't it steel or something like that?
Yeah, it was similar
to or something
Allentown.
Isn't used.
It was
anymore.
more so steel. I mean, steel's used, but it's gone across the pond and all that good stuff. But I will say that it was a booming town in the 50s. Same thing with a town like Rockford. Rockford, Illinois was booming for a long time. Now it's a shithole.
Hey, hometown of Fred VanVleet, though, so never forget.
Who the fuck? Oh,
I was like, who Fred VanVleet is. You gotta stop being on a sports podcast if you don't know Mr. VanVleet.
Not Greta, but Fred.
No.
Yeah.
Way different. Way different.
Way different. Way different.
But Edgerrin James, good for you, Edgerrin James. Whatever you were doing, I'm sure you had a good time.
Good for you. Now, if you really wanted to, with all that $1 million of ones, you could buy a lot of razor blades. But if you wanted to get the biggest bang for your buck with all that money in purchasing those razor blades, you'd partner with our great friends at Henson Shaving.
This part of today's episode is brought to you by none other than our friends at Henson Shaving. If you guys have been listening to the show for a while, you already know that we swear by Henson Shaving. We've been using them for months, and there really isn't a better product out there. The Henson razor puts an end to shaving irritation and cuts while also making your skin feel comfortable and smooth. This razor is made by using CNC machines to aerospace standards. That's right. Rocket ships, people. That means it's made to very tight tolerances, meaning that the combination of how securely it's held and how minimally the blade is exposed delivers a smooth and safe shave no other razor can offer. It's literally one blade. Be safe. Please be safe. They're very sharp. You twist on the top and you get to work. It's that easy. You remember the beard bet? You remember me shaving off the whole thing. If you need to watch somebody use it, go on my Instagram and check it out because it's really that easy. Cost of ownership averages $88.20 every 2 years, which is essentially $177 less than normal cartridge razors. They're sustainable. It's precise. It's Henson Shaving. It's got a nice weight to it. It's made out of metal. None of this plastic garbage. So please use the promo code THETAXISQUAD, THETAXI. SQUAD at checkout, and you'll receive a 100-pack of blades free with the purchase of the razor. So you go on the site, you add the razor that you're looking for, and then you add a 100-pack of razors, you'll get those for free. For most users, this amount of blades will last you 2 to 5 years depending on how often you shave. So that promo code again is the Taxi Squad at HensonShaving.com. Go check it out.
Vince, college football. It was officially week, I believe, 9 it was week 9 of technically 10, but there's week 0 in there.
It always fucks me up. Always.
It's always weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was week 9 of the college football weekend series of a Saturday day of Pac-12 games that were absolutely snooze fest.
Yeah.
Minus the late night game on the Halloween party for most people. So I don't think a lot of people were paying attention to the college footballs this week, especially even the colleges, just simply due to the fact it was a party weekend, and I don't think everybody gave a shit.
People weren't out for Halloween, dude. People weren't trying to watch college football.
Yeah.
But I was.
So was I. I mean, hey, I don't know if anybody saw Oklahoma lose to Kansas.
What the heck, man?
Worst. I told everybody pay attention to that fucking game.
You did. Come
on.
I have to give you your flowers on that. You were the one being like, hey, who knows? Kansas is pretty good. Oklahoma's been on a tear the last, 6 weeks where everybody's like, they were maybe progressing a little quicker than we thought they were going to. This is a little bit comeback to Jesus moment where it's like, all right. You got
sorry
Kansas
ass
now.
Brent Venables.
But we got Bedlam next week, don't we?
Bedlam is in fact next week, which I mean Oklahoma State blows this year. So
what stinks though, and I heard this today, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. This is like the last time we're gonna get Bedlam for probably a good time.
No, they'll always make it an out-of-conference game.
Do you think though? Because they also are gonna have to do. Well, actually, Texas is moving to the SEC too, so we'll see how that goes.
It's rich history. I mean, they will always have one out-of-conference game that will be that. I think so personally.
You'd like to think, because then it's always like kind of a shoo-in for Oklahoma or Oklahoma State figures their shit out.
You know what I will say? It's going to be something the next time fans rush the field and potentially get some hands thrown on them.
Yeah.
Because I saw some post-game videos of Kansas State fans or Kansas fans rushing the field and like going in the face of Oklahoma players.
Yep.
It's going to take one to just absolutely fucking snap.
Saying.
I'm sorry, you got what's coming to you.
Like, you have to be able to, like, get off the field and be safe if that thing happens. I mean, same thing happened with the Notre Dame thing where I was against Caleb Williams. I was like, all right, like, this guy's an asshole. Like,
smidge of a dick.
Was it funny to me? Yeah, but also you're an asshole. Like, you kind of deserve to get smacked if you go and smack somebody, you know? Like, they should be able to have a smack back if that's the case, and they kind of can't.
Oh, if somebody put their finger in my face and I'm walking off the field, we're gonna have an issue.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Especially if I'm upset that I just lost the game itself. It's like, I will fuck you up.
And you're both like university students. You go to the same school, so it's like you're probably around the same age. You should be able to hit the person.
Or even if you don't go to the same school, yeah. I mean, a lot of them are these frat boys who are probably blasted. And, you know, at the end of the day, they're rushing the field. They took the fucking goalpost and dropped it in the lake. Yeah. Right next to the stadium. I don't know if anybody saw that.
That was like Tennessee.
Hilarious.
Remember Tennessee last year?
Oh yeah,
They
did
carried
take
the goalpost all the way out of the field and then threw it in the river, the lake.
After they beat Bama, which I don't
Yep.
understand the significance of that because
Yeah,
it's like
because
you
then they got to go
won
buy a
by.
new goalpost.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that's the thought process behind it. I don't know.
I don't get it.
What I will say though is it was an okay weekend. Washington may not be as good as we thought they were.
Yeah.
Because Stanford put 33 on them. Granted, Michael Penix had a good game, looked the part, 4 touchdowns,
still won the
100%.
game.
I will say this though,
And
right
Stanford's
now,
played pretty good this year.
Yeah.
In spots. Obviously, they're not a good team, but in spots, they play pretty well.
To me, the biggest storyline after this weekend is the Heisman race. Is Bo Nix at the top of this running right now?
At some point, someone's got to say it. That offense is humming, dude. You're not going to get anybody from Georgia.
He looks really fucking good.
Yeah, like Brock Bowers is obviously not playing right now, who could have been like a dark horse, whatever it may be. Like Bo Nix, Penix included as well. Caleb Williams was the favorite. I don't think he's going to be winning it at this point.
No.
It's got to be Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, looking at the odds, chances are he's going to be the guy.
Is he the top right now? Is he top on odds?
I would assume so. Here, let's get the live look on the sports book.
Let's see how long it takes this time.
I'm gonna
just. It took like 20 minutes.
I'll just get back to you. Let's keep moving.
That's fine.
What were some of your favorite matchups? Here, talk about your Golden Domers.
I'd like to talk about my Domers really quick because they played a hell of a game against Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh's not a great team this year, but 58-7 is just something you like to see, especially with those couple losses in the middle of the season there. 12th in the nation, moving back up the rankings. Obviously, they're not going to go to a playoff this year, but they're probably going to be placed in a pretty decent bowl game. And I'm ready to get hurt again. I'm ready for them to lose in a bowl game, and it's going to break my heart. I'm ready for
You're ready to get hurt again?
Fucking 45-year-old man that's playing quarterback right now is just going to absolutely kill it. And then they're going to lose in dreadful fashion, I expect. So, yep, that's kind of Notre Dame for you. But do I believe? Oh, God, yes, I do. I believe.
Who do your Domers got this week, Vince?
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Also, post-bye week. I want to make that clear. Post-bye week.
Yeah, you played Pittsburgh, Vince.
I know, but they're playing.
Most recent quarterback to go through that is former USC Trojan Keaton Slovis.
What?
Nobody gives a fuck
Pittsburgh?
about him. Yeah, he played for Pittsburgh last season.
He
may still be on the team. No, now it's Christian Valeur.
And
Sam Hartman's line, did he even throw the football?
It didn't need to. Didn't
2
even
interceptions, 18 pass attempts, 288 yards, 0 touchdowns.
What do you don't have to do anything when you got Audric Estime in the back.
Dude, I know he only had 3 touchdowns. How many
he only had 3 touchdowns.
Well, I'm just saying, no.
Yeah, they scored a million touchdowns.
Nate Yarnell, whoever the fungal that is, he played decent.
Punt return off the bat here.
Oh, there's an Italian on the Irish team, Steve Angeli.
Yeah, he's probably
6 for 7, 92 yards, 1 touchdown. Hey,
you get a pass from Mr. Cooper Flanagan.
Sam Hartman might be. He might be. Watching it here. Look at this. Wow.
Interception return, punt return, fumble return. They were just scoring.
Okay, so there's a lot of defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, fuck yeah, which is their bread and butter. Which was the expectation this year, is that the defense they need to show up and be good. Sam Hartman, obviously, you wanted a better quarterback, but I'm happy with that. They take on. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say they take on Dabo's boys, who have been they've been a little disheartening for them this year, kind of an off year. Do you see Dabo Swinney go absolutely apeshit all over that kid that called into that radio station?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was great. The kid was just
What'd he do?
He was telling him how to coach, essentially. And Dabo Swinney's like, I started from nothing, and I made a national championship. And you, Tyler. He called him Tyler. He
called him Tyler.
Yeah, he just
the
gnawed
stress
on
is
it.
getting to him?
Yeah, well, he was just like, you don't understand how this like, blah, blah, blah. The way I ran this program, I made them good. Which, to his credit,
he did.
Yes. Fuck yeah, he did.
He's built some winners out there, and he's also had a good coaching tree.
He's done a good job at making himself the enemy this year, for sure. And I think that included with this one, you're like, okay, like it's easy to make fun of him, even though he is a good coach. But like he did the whole name, image, and likeness. But like NIL is like, he was like, it's like God instead of making money with car dealerships. I make money with God, or like I get credence from God, whatever it was. That whole thing.
Sounds like Uncle Baby Billy.
Yeah.
And after I pay all my scientists.
I love that reference. Righteous Gemstones. Let's go.
Uncle Baby Billy, get out of here, nerd.
Get out of here, nerd.
Right, that's
Baby Billy Bobble Bonkers.
Yeah, right. Baby, get out here, nerd.
Yeah, so, yeah, Dabo Swinney. Hopefully we can get another win from them next week. That's my plan.
Well, I would be careful because Clemson, this is a big game for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They're not playing at their home field. And not only that, but playing Clemson at Clemson is not an easy task. I mean,
No.
FSU almost lost to Clemson, and FSU is ranked 4th in the nation right now.
They did, and that's a good team.
So, very good team. So, Notre Dame better come, and they better know.
I'm just happy they don't have DJ Ugalugale anymore.
DJ Ugalugale lost on Saturday to an University of Arizona team. Nobody saw that one coming.
Who would have thought?
Last minute. Yeah, not I. I mean, that University of Arizona team's pretty decent. I mean, the fact that they played with a bunch of Pac-12 matchups, they brought USC to overtime. Not like saying that's much to say considering fucking USC this weekend. Jesus.
Can we? Yes. Sorry, go in on that.
Can we just see Mike lose his mind?
49 to 50.
I didn't even want to watch the game. Saturday night, had a party to go to. I was like, I don't even want to see it.
Popular boy.
Don't even want to see it. Went to my brother's famous Halloween party, dressed up like Tony Soprano.
Pretty good.
It's a good look. Not bad.
It
was a busy day.
The impression is good. That's a good impression from you there. It is. You sent me a Snapchat, and I was like, damn.
I had the fucking over on Caleb Williams. He only fucking threw for 253 yards.
How do you do that? I don't have that in my soul, in my gonads.
There you go.
I can't do that.
You watch enough Sopranos, it just kind of comes naturally.
I've watched it a ton. I don't have it.
I don't know what more. I just pick up easy on the impressions. Fucking Caleb Williams. He was a fucking Heisman runner-up before the beginning of the fucking season. Now he's in the fucking ass.
He looked okay. He didn't look like Caleb, what you expect from Caleb Williams, but he looked
hero
okay.
ball bullshit. He's getting exposed. He holds onto the ball for way too long.
No turnovers, though, on his end, no?
Oh, yay. He still holds onto the ball way too long. I mean,
the
go look at...
defense, though, is the word.
Defense is trash. This is the typical Lincoln Riley team.
Yep.
Typical. It just is, man. I mean, they scored 0 points in the second quarter, scored 12 in the third, and 21 in the fourth.
Yeah.
And they put themselves behind. They can't tackle. The running game needs to be better. And in this past week, I will give it credit. It's like our first 100-yard rushing week in probably 2 weeks from one guy. So Marshawn Lloyd looks good. Overall, I don't know right now where the future's headed for this program without Caleb Williams.
Next year will be interesting. Yeah.
Malachi Nelson coming up through the program should be really a guy.
Good. Yeah.
Supposedly, but this is it's OU SoCal right now. It's the same thing, except they could run the ball a lot better at OU, and they're not running the football very well. Their defensive line suspect. They can't tackle. Their secondary shit.
The Grinch almost stole Halloween from you guys.
Who's the Grinch?
Alex.
Who's Alex?
Alex Grinch?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, come on. Understand my reference.
Grinch.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. I just get so caught up with this team.
Caught up.
Expectations. Really feeling it.
Caught up. All right, go on. Sorry, scroll moment.
No, it's just such a painful thing to watch some Saturdays. And this team was supposed to compete this year, and it's just your Golden Domers just put an end to our fun. And every week since, it's just been a battle.
You don't know how.
You're
too nice to me, dude.
I was hoping. Fuck you. I was hoping that all right, this was going to be like, all right, go in, close game against Notre Dame. Let's beat Utah, and we're going to be right on our way to a Pac-12 championship. Right now, that's not even going to happen. It's probably going to be Oregon-Washington for the Pac-12 championship. If I had a game to watch, that would be it.
At least you guys scored.
We score a lot.
The Iowa-Minnesota game.
Oh, yes.
There was more punts than points.
Bet the under. Bet the under. So much so.
No, but the under was 30.5, which is insane. They ended up scoring 22. There was 25 punts in the game. There was more punts than points. Let's go through the scoring log really quick. Field goal, touchdown. Iowa gets touchdown. Field goal, field goal. 12-10, final score. Minnesota beats Iowa. Insane. Moving on to next week on that line, Iowa's playing Northwestern at Wrigley Field. The point spread this week is 29.5, which is historically low.
Dude.
At least you score, dude. At least you score, man.
I will say this much. That game should be fun. You should just go because it's up the street from you.
I am considering just walking on over and moseying in, or just like going to a couple bars and watching it around the Madness.
Well, there's a lot of Big Ten bars in and around Wrigleyville.
Yep. There's a Nebraska one down the street from mine. There is not a Notre Dame one next to mine, though, which does stink because I would be going there often.
12-10. I can't believe this.
Insane. It was an amazing game to watch. I was watching I probably watched a quarter of it because I was like,
well, that's the last game they played because they had a bye week. Yeah.
Well, and they got Deacon Hill instead of they had the old what's his name?
Deacon Hill.
Deacon Hill's the quarterback, but they used to have. For some reason, I got Graham McDowell in my head, but he's a fucking golfer.
He plays golf.
Graham Mertz? Did Graham Mertz play there? Or am I thinking of him? Whatever it may be.
Graham Mertz is at Florida.
Oh, he is at Florida. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, Cade McNamara. Jesus Christ.
There we go.
Cade McNamara was their starting quarterback this year. He ends up going down. They bring Deacon Hill in, going 10 for 28 with an INT. Alex Kalakamanis, not much better on the other side, 10 for 25.
His name is
26.
Athan Kalakamanis.
Oh, I thought it was Alex.
Greek.
Athan.
Not Greek at all.
Athan Kalakamanis. Athan.
He is 100% Greek.
Yeah.
Like he definitely is Orthodox.
So this week Iowa fired Brian Ferentz, their offensive coordinator.
Isn't his dad the head coach?
His dad, Kirk Ferentz, is the head coach of the team. They fired him effective after their bowl game if they end up making one. Because they are 6-2.
Daddy, I should be the head coach one day.
Yeah, exactly. Another Righteous Gemstone thing's like, Daddy, that should be me. And
Daddy, you should be me on that stage. No, you suck, son.
I don't blame them because they haven't been able to score in years and years and years.
Horrible.
Correct. And their defense is always pretty decent, and they just knock out tight ends all of the time. That's all they do. So, yeah, he got essentially fired by his dad, but they said, we're going to fire you, but just wait it out for a couple more weeks before we do. So that does kind of stink.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. 29.5. Dude, this game, you might as well just bet the under. I mean, what do you got to lose?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's historically low, and I have no – Northwestern's horrible this year.
And like Iowa's kind of just as horrible.
They can't score either. So, like, in my head, I'm like, why wouldn't you bet the under? Even though it's this, like, Minnesota's a better offense than Northwestern is. As fucked up as it is. Like, it might be like 6-9. It might just be all field goals. Like Wrigley Field just taking footballs left and right. Last time they played in Wrigley Field, they messed up the hash marks because you know how the Bears used to play there? Many moons ago. Yeah, Ditka, yeah, that guy used to play there.
Used to play there.
The touchdown goes straight into the brick wall of the ivy.
Right.
So hopefully they adjust it this time, because last time they had to play both offenses one way.
I think that'll ultimately be the case again for the safety of the players because they don't want guys running into brick walls. Now, back in the 40s, 50s, 60s,
you were just running right into it, dude. Yeah.
Running in the back of the end zone. We don't give a shit. There could be a wall there. Have fun. So, back to the Heisman race.
Yep.
Michael Penix is still in the lead right now.
Okay.
To be the favorite after his game on Saturday. And I put an early wager in on that before the beginning of the season.
Smart man.
Now, Caleb Williams right now is almost dead fucking last. To give you an idea, Carson Beck has a better opportunity. to win the Heisman.
Oh, and that's
Williams.
only because their team is good, not because he's played well, because he's been the most mediocre guy.
Correct.
That's all they need, but that's...
Right now, the top three are Michael Penix Jr., J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels. Bo Nix is fourth on that list, with 6-1 odds.
That kind of surprises
me. May not be a terrible wager. I got the wager for Michael Penix in the beginning of the season, early bet, at 16-1 odds.
Ooh. Good for you.
So I also bet Caleb, who had 5-1 odds early on, and that bet just totally blew up in my fucking face.
Bad beat right there. That is
what you gonna do?
Beat.
I mean, hey, you had to.
Yeah,
it would have been the only time in history that somebody could have did it twice. But
it's happened before. Long time ago, but it's happened before.
Oh, wasn't it like Curly Lambeau? Or
something like that.
It's
like this. 2Y Magoo.
And here comes old Curly.
Dude, all these Shane Gillis references. That special's amazing.
And then Gail Sanders got it in the game and was just like, oh, boy.
Gail Sanders came. He's like, oh, we're talking normal now. It's like, good-eyed Curly. Gonna give him the spitball. It's like, oh, no. That's really
kind of true.
I mean,
kind of true.
It's obviously not Sam Hartman. Obviously, that was my like claim.
Well, no shit, man.
Year, but
nobody on that fucking Notre Dame team is even close. Man, I will say
Caleb
this
Williams isn't either, though. Come on.
He won a Heisman last year. He's arguably the most athletic quarterback. He's still going to be the number one overall pick in this upcoming year.
Drake May.
No.
Lots of Drake May talk out there, bud.
He lost to Virginia.
I'm just saying.
Patrick
Mahomes lost a lot of games in college, and he was still good, so we'll see.
Yeah, but the difference is that Caleb Williams was in the Pac-12 championship last year. Patrick Mahomes was never, ever in one championship game, let alone a bowl game that was worth anything.
I mean, you're right, but we'll see.
I'm just saying, Vince. Just saying, for the records. Now, I think we've exhausted. Now, let's look at this upcoming week, though.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a game other than, you're under?
I'm obviously looking forward to that game. Yeah, I'm obviously looking forward to that game.
Northwestern Iowa game.
Yeah.
And then Clemson Notre Dame. Is there one game and you're like, oh man, I can't wait to see that?
I think it's gonna be funny for all the people that I know that went to Mizzou to have to go up against Georgia and then try to act like they're gonna win a game.
Although last year,
I know they played them hard.
That was a really close game, and Georgia wound up winning at the very, very end. So pay attention. Just saying.
LSU, Alabama, obviously fun. Your guys.
It's going to be a great game.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, Washington, USC, this is the game, and then the following week we have Oregon, which I am deathly afraid of.
What a gauntlet, dude. I know we talked about it last week, but
dude,
and then obviously Bedlam, too. I want to make that clear.
Whoever put this on their calendar was just like, oh, yeah, fuck these guys today.
Well, they put too many easy teams at the beginning, like everybody does, and then I think they were expecting like
you need some tuna, but 7-2 against 8-0. Granted, the Washington Huskies did not play the Arizona Sun Devils very well at all. So
who played the Pac-12 pretty good this year.
ASU could be good in the coming years. I'm not saying to count them out, even though they can't go to a bowl game this year because they're exempt for whatever reason. I think there was some collusion. Even though Mizzou is ranked 14th, I mean, fuck, Mizzou's ranked better than USC right now.
They've been a pretty decent team this year, all things considered.
Squad, maybe.
But I don't think they're beating Georgia.
Yeah, Purdue, Michigan. They fired the porn star coach with epic name. That's new.
Is he fired officially?
Oh, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, because more and more of this stuff's coming out. I saw a couple more where it was like pictures of him, and then he has like a weird little blue thing on his sunglasses, and they're like, oh, was he recording something?
Was he recording? Yeah. Did he have?
I mean, he wrote like a 500-page manifesto.
He wrote. Was he going to shoot up the school?
No, it was like a how to make Michigan good manifesto, but like that's just kind of like, what the fuck?
Do you know that guy like purposely went to the Navy because he wanted to be the next head coach at Michigan?
Yeah.
And then he noticed one thing in common with all great head coaches in college football history is that they go to Michigan, or that they're a part of some sort of service.
Yeah, it was like some military service or something like that. I mean, this guy plotted out what he wanted to do a long time. That is long planning.
Like, hey,
but
shout out to the discipline. I'm not
also a little insane.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear.
It's been fucking crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I would say week of Bedlam. This is a great week for college football. You have Arizona State, Utah, which could be a game. You never know. Could be a game.
We'll see.
But all in all, hey, Vince, you know what? It's your favorite time of the year for you to talk about all things NBA and for me to be like, that's what's up. So the NBA kicked off, so take it away.
The beauty of the NBA is that the season's long, and everybody knows that. And I said it last week, and I was like, it's the best time of year, or it's the worst time of year for NBA writers because the season started, so they can't say anything about people wanting to get traded or anything. But to put it into a little bit of saga, James Harden did get traded from the Philadelphia 76ers to the Los Angeles Clippers. He actually showed up for game one to Philly trying to go on the team plane, and they said, don't let him on. So he actually got kicked off trying to show up for work on the first game, even though he didn't go to training camp. So they made which is hilarious because it's like, oh, I deserve to be on here. It's like, motherfucker, like, what are you doing?
You haven't done a damn thing.
Right, exactly. So he's obviously, we've talked about him in the playoffs. He sucks butts in the playoffs, especially when Game 7s come along. We've talked about him being a prima donna. We've talked about him getting all fat and then getting skinny again and then getting fat again, all this shit.
I think he was in a fat suit. Nobody loses weight that fast.
That's kind of what I'm saying. It's like, what did he do? Just like push really hard out or put on a fast suit, whatever. He got sent to the Clippers for PJ Tucker, or the 76ers, sent PJ Tucker, Harden, and Philip Petrusev, who I'm honestly not too familiar with. Clippers end up sending back Marcus Morris, Robert Covington in his advanced age, Nicholas Batum, also a little bit older, KJ Martin, 2028 unprotected first round, 2 second rounds, and a 2029 pick swap. And the additional first-round pick from the Thunder. So it was a big haul. And you also got to think about this, too. They got all of that stuff essentially for Ben Simmons. Because that trade was 1-for-1, essentially, to the Nets for Ben Simmons. I heard this argument made today, which I can agree with entirely. Steve Ballmer isn't going to ever tank. And he owns the Clippers. He's too goddamn rich, and he's too badly wants to win. They have a new arena that they're building right now that the team's going to go into. Come 2028, I don't think that first-round pick's going to be worth much, if I'm being entirely honest. But Sixers also waived Danny Green. They're kind of switching their team around a lot deeper. Don't have James Harden anymore. I don't think they're too worried about that because Tyrese Maxey comes in and it's good. But I think it's just good to get the cancer out. Now, on the Clippers side, this puts you in a situation where Harden and Westbrook are back together. I don't think they liked each other. This is their third time trying to play together because they did the Rockets, they did the Oklahoma City Thunder, and now they're doing the Clippers together. Kawhi, Paul George, obviously they all need their rest during the season. None of them can stay healthy. If this team shoots at a if they play perfectly to the best of their ability, they could be very good. But this is the Los Angeles Clippers, and these are these guys, and that's just
is this like the first time that like 3 former teammates have all been on separate teams together, like almost numerous times now?
Are you talking about with PG,
Harden, KG, and
PG,
Harden, KG, and Russell Westbrook? I mean, this is kind of crazy.
Paul George never played with Harden.
No, Paul George played with
Westbrook.
Russell.
Yeah, in OKC. Yeah.
Right. Know all about that.
And then there's obviously like the Chris Paul connection with them all. Now they're all on the Clippers, whatever it may be. This team could be good. This team has no depth anymore, and they're all going to need to get their rest all the time.
Is Chris Paul on the Clippers again?
No, he's on the Warriors right now.
Oh, good for him. He'll do great there.
Yeah.
He'll facilitate the shit out of that team.
Not too bad. Definitely he's been shown to be a little bit on the second. He's on the bench squad right now because Steph Curry's going to be running point for that team.
What a better six man than CG.
And you don't have to lean on Chris Paul at all, which is good because in the playoffs,
he can't be leaned on anymore. I mean, he can just facilitate now. It didn't happen in Phoenix. They were really close. Didn't happen in Houston. Really close.
It happened in LA, and they were really close.
A lot of people said he wanted to go play with Kobe. A lot of people say that deal was almost done.
He did. It was. David Stern put the little ixnay on it.
Bullshit.
Because the NBA owned the Hornets at that time, which I learned this not too long ago, and I was like, what? I guess the NBA just owned the team?
Yeah, because I don't think anybody bought them.
Right. So they own the Hornets, and then they put – because other than that, it's like a free market. Like, you're allowed to trade with, like, exceptions, obviously. But since they own the team, they're like, we're not going to allow the GM of this team trade Chris Paul to this. So they put the no-no on it because they said a competitive advantage.
Isn't that the point of a fucking trade, is to get a competitive advantage?
Well, so they said, like, if Chris Paul goes to the Lakers, they're too OP. Like, they're going to be too good.
That's bullshit.
I know. I agree. I think it's garbage.
If you're a commissioner of the league, you let that trade happen. Let Kobe.
CP would have probably 2 or 3 championships under his belt now, if that's the case.
Him and Kobe would have at least won one together.
Well, that's what it's kind of like, get the monkey off your back type of deal. Like, once he gets one, I feel like the floodgates kind of open up. But yeah, I mean, Sixers in a better position now than they were, because obviously James Harden wasn't going to play.
In the future, they're in a better position. I think that the Clippers are, to your point, Steve Ballmer. Isn't he the guy from the Windows launches that dances terribly? That's that guy, right?
He dances. He sweats a lot. Yeah, he's so rich. So
he's
rich,
such
that
a
man.
dork and very rich. Yes, he is. I would say this, it's going to blow up in their face because it's going to be a lot of guys who don't play a lot of minutes and they're very talented. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, I don't think he's played a full game.
It feels like in 2 years. Yeah. But again, if everything works perfectly, they are a squad. And everybody's saying that, and everybody falls in the same shit every year. But you're like, remember, they're the Clippers, and they're going to pull Clippers shit. That's kind of where I'm at. They'll get to the playoffs. They'll be a playoff team.
We'll see.
How far do they get? They'll be in the playoffs.
But it's a team made of glass, though.
That's my whole thing. And it's like, Paul George is pretty decent in the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard's obviously won one, but the other two.
How do you live in SoCal or just that general area and be unhappy? Like, I was in SoCal for a week, and I'm like, fucking leave me here forever.
Yeah. I mean, outside of people that like are homeless and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, no, I don't want to be homeless.
If you're rich, NBA player,
play a game. Fucking yeah, I want to live in SoCal.
Hell yeah.
Chill. Fuck yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Also, it takes time for people to kind of mend together. Like, I know Lillard's obviously playing in Milwaukee, and one night they look amazing, and the next night they don't look that good. Like, this is going to be a mess trying to figure out this.
We all know the NBA is after the All-Star break type of year. It's like baseball. Yeah. All the wins mean something.
And
all the wins and losses mean something. But
the reason Broussard said that, the R word, the reason Broussard said that is because he's like, what does James Harden think he's going to do? Come in there and be the first option? Like, it's a team full of guys that think they're the first option. Like, you got to figure out how this is all going to work together.
I would bring in numerous sports psychologists and say, all right, here's how we're going to do this.
Yeah.
You're all fucking head cases and think you're the shit. Who's willing to take a back seat? Raise your hand.
Anybody but Kawhi, because Kawhi's still the best player on that team.
Kawhi is 100% still the best player on that team. Kawhi just won his championship and was like, fuck it. I'm going to make my money. I'm going to get an endorsement deal with New Balance, and I am moving to the Bay.
He was so dope for that, like, those 2 seasons. When he, like, leaves San Antonio and everybody's like, what the fuck? What does he think he's going to do? He just goes to the Raptors and wins one. Just completely dethrones DeMar DeRozan, as much as I love the man. Like, it's kind of crazy.
I wonder if I could get those high top New Balances now for, like, less, because they were a big deal, and I bet you now they're not.
The Kawhi ones?
Yeah, those are dope.
I don't know if I've ever seen them.
Those shoes are dope, Vince. Pull them up. I'm telling you.
I'm a New Balance guy. The high top ones?
Yeah.
Okay, pulling them up. Oh, those are definitely a vibe.
Show the followers. Show the team.
I'm trying to pull up something cool here. Here we go. Is that the right one, dude? Which ones? What color are they?
I don't know. One was like black and gold, or
all right.
White and
Here we go.
This is going to be the first time sharing something.
I haven't
done
the screen share yet, and I hope this works. So if it doesn't work correctly, I'm going to cut around this. Here we go. Oh, cool.
Oh, look at us.
So which ones are they? These ones?
Yeah, those ones. Those are dope.
Those are handsome.
Like those.
I like
those
it.
are dope.
This is good audio podcasting too. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, this is
these
good.
ones.
Yeah, those are dope too.
Yeah, those were his
first
those. Ones.
I like those. I like the originals. I always thought those were sick. The colors and the off colors aren't. No, those are the old. I'm not a big fan of those. I like the new age ones.
Means I got a pair of those. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. But there's high top
shoot podcast,
and I'm glad that screen share worked, guys. I'm happy that you guys can.
We're learning as we go with this whole other.
Go.
We are now, Vince. On the flip side of all this, the Bulls are a fucking shit show already.
It's
3 games in.
Yeah, I mean it is what I mean. They're not even. They're 2-2, man. Like they're 2-2. This is what they're going to be the rest of the season. They're going to be. They're going to be. Yeah, 2-2. Like, are they a shit show? Not the worst. Are they going to be the best? Also not true. I don't know. They're 2-2 right now. After the game 1, they have a players only meeting where they're like, "Get out of here. We're going to talk between players." Maybe that's good. Maybe that's bad. But in the first game of the season, doing a team only meeting, little concerning. So, I mean, I hope for my boys. I'm obviously always hoping. I'm not betting the beard this time. No shot. Look at how beautifully it was just done yesterday.
Oh, no, you're not betting the beard this year?
No shot. No shot.
I get a new sponsor. I guess you to bet something else.
I mean, next time we're going to have to bet. I'm going to have to buy you dinner, and you're going to have to do something like shave your head or some shit like that. But either way, sports clips, call me.
I got hardware now, you know. I don't know if I can do that. She'd have to approve that.
I feel like the opposite is true. If you're still trying to find a lady, then you can't shave your head. She's stuck with you, brother. She's stuck.
Yeah, you got a point.
Like, what are you supposed? What's she gonna divorce you for shaving your head?
If it was up to me, I'd shave my fucking head right now.
Maybe we got a bet in it.
Too much.
My love life is a bit fickle. Yours is set in stone now, bud. So maybe that's something that we can talk about later.
Sometimes you gotta be a little fickle.
And you want to know who's good? The Denver Nuggets. So shout out to Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets are really good. Friend of the podcast might be going to a game tonight in Minneapolis because he's working in Minneapolis. What do you think of that? Now, one person I would like to say is an absolute dog. Well, first of all, Luka Doncic is just fucking freakish.
So we watched that game after we recorded last week.
Yeah, and the Mavericks are 3-0 right now, and they play the Bulls tonight, so they're probably going to be 4-0.
That's all due to Kyrie, bud.
Oh, yeah, right. Luka hit a step-back game ender, the game we watched last week against the San Antonio Spurs late-night game. It was fucking awesome. I think Luka has kind of found his stride as his preseason preparation because years in the past, he would come back looking like shit. Like he was fat. You could tell that end of games he was spent.
Yeah.
And now he definitely looks to be in far better shape to start this season. Looks like he got on quite a regimen because he would go back to Serbia and just like fuck off.
Him and Jokic, they're both like, hey, we're going to come and play basketball when we're there. And then we're going to go home and do whatever the fuck we want for a couple months, which I kind of like.
I guess Jokic owns like his own like racehorse.
He's an equestrian. Yes, that man is an equestrian. He's a horseman.
That poor horse. He's got to have some big fucking horse.
Yeah, dude. He's got to get some workhorses, some stallions for that fucking body, dude. What is he, like 310, 320?
Yeah. Another person who jumped off the page that game and against the Spurs is Victor Wembanyama. It was
Slenderman.
Welcome to the NBA, Victor Wembanyama.
Did you see his Halloween costume?
Was he the Slender Man?
Yeah, genius.
That's so awesome.
Perfect. He's the perfect for that. Yeah, there was a lot of talk, and it's happening a lot right now, and we watched it happen. He's not the number one option on the Spurs right now, which is good. Like, they shouldn't be forcing him into the role. That's what I'm saying. So a lot of people are like, Wembanyama isn't taking the whole world by storm. It's like, yeah, Greg Popovich is going to make him the third option, and that's what his usage rate is at right now. He's big in clutch time. Well, yeah, when the game's close at the end, like they're like, go for it. Expend how much you need to. They're putting it in a situation right now where it's like, you don't need to run everything perfectly all the time. You do what you do well. Get better at the things you need to get better at. And then when push comes to shove, you can take over the game. And he did. I mean, a couple step back jumpers for a man that's fucking 7'6", like, or 7'4", however tall he is. Insane. And then he's
a freak athlete.
Beautiful passing. Solid around the rim. Like, he can just reach up and dunk. It's fucking so cool. He's a monster. I'm excited to see how he keeps going, but I think this is probably the right trajectory for him as he's going right now.
It's like Yao Ming with a step back jumper and who can also shoot threes. It's kind of stupid.
Hopefully he can avoid all the health issues of one Yao Ming that
when you're that big, it's difficult to live long. I will say that much.
He's gonna need to pull a Giannis and build some muscles.
If that guy got on like one cycle of steroids in an off season, it would be disgusting.
I mean, if we're being honest, he's probably going to, because that's what happens with all these guys. Like, it's clear that like LeBron's taking shit. Like, all these things are true. He's probably all on
something. It's just how you hide it. You know, you need something to gain a competitive advantage, especially LeBron after 20 years.
And he's looking good still.
Diet. LeBron's. They've lost like every game, haven't they?
They haven't been horrible. I mean, it's the Lakers. They'll show up by the time halfway comes through. They're also 2-2, Mike, for what it's worth.
He's just waiting for Bronny Jr. to get to the league. He'll play his 1 year. He'll get drafted in the mid to first round, and there you have it.
I still, to this day, don't feel like we talk about how the Lakers name makes no fucking sense enough.
What do you mean?
It's so dumb. They started in Minneapolis. They're the Lakers because of the land of 10,000 lakes. How many lakes are there in California?
None.
There's some. Tahoe.
There's a couple.
And
I
shit.
can't name them. Yeah, like Tahoe.
But like every state has a couple. It's like they should have changed their name. Now everybody's like, I'm a Lakers fan. I'm like, you don't even have fucking lakes. You're in Los Angeles. Like, what are we doing right now?
Well, they moved there, and then the Timberwolves took over.
I know, but change your name when you move there. Whatever, 1960, whatever you moved there. I don't know.
What are they gonna be? The LA homeless?
Anything. The Bulls are. There's not a lot of Bulls in Chicago, but at least it's a mascot. Like Lakers are people of the lake.
Well, blame Dr. Buss.
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying?
Dr. Buss. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Blame Dr. Buss. He urged his daughter to pose in Playboy. Fun fact.
Jeannie?
Mm-hmm.
Still kind of a babe.
70s Bush.
Still would. That's NBA, Mike, but we have a lot more pressing playoff stuff going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The World Series is in full effect right now. I'm a little worried about the snakes in the desert right now. Not a big snake guy overall, but the baseball team I'm supporting.
Yes.
I was looking at trying to get tickets last night. They were in the 200s, still a little steep to go watch a team that, you don't really have much effort in. But at the end of the day, I do believe that this series is taking a turn for the worse after last evening because the Rangers were leading like 10-1 until the 8th inning. So,
as a disclaimer, it is the top of the first right now.
And what's the score?
It is 0-0. It just started. But depending on how this game goes, you might be listening to this with a World Series champion, or you might be listening to this with a 3-2 matchup. So whatever we say here, grain of salt. I want to make that clear. If they win it and everybody's going apeshit crazy, and we're like, I don't know, the Diamondbacks can still come back, understand that is the top of the first inning right now.
Yes, and we will know far more tomorrow when this episode drops, but definitely something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rangers story is cool. They've never won a World Series in the history of their franchise. They started in the 60s. It's a cool story.
Yeah.
Diamondbacks have been around for 25 years.
Who? The Rangers never won one.
No, the Rangers have not won a World Series. It's like the Rangers, Rays. I know I think the Pirates
it's like the Guardians are the longest drought. Oh, because the Rangers were the Senators.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more sense. So since 1972, since they changed their name and moved, they haven't won one.
Here we go. Per the Wikipedias, the longest drought was the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox, fun fact, which was 1909 to 2015 and then 1918 to 2004.
Yep.
Thank God we did it first for the record to all you Cub fans out there.
We won after they did and won before they did, so way less drought.
Yeah. So all in all, this is to me a very interesting game. This is game 5.
Yeah.
Because the Rangers, the last 2 games have really come out strong. Corey Seager might be the best shortstop in all baseball right now.
He's a monster.
I mean, him and Marcus Semien up the middle right now are pretty impressive to watch defensively.
That's why you spend
and
money, man.
They spent a lot of money. And then I get like really big Joe Creedy vibes from this Josh Young guy.
Young,
Oh
Jung,
my
yeah.
God. Dude, he plays defense so well at the hot corner. It's impressive. And he may not be the greatest hitter in the world, but that kid has a glove.
It's not always necessary. I mean, and also you're on a team where you have Semien and you have Seager and you have freaking what's his name in right field, Adolis Garcia. Like you have all those guys on the team.
Although Adolis Garcia is not going to play the rest of this series.
I know. He's out today. We got Travis Janikowski playing in right. But that being said,
the kicker? Is his dad the kicker?
No.
Come on.
I wish he was. No, but Adolis Garcia already had a walk-off home run in game 1. So if we're being honest, he probably will still win MVP if that's all things said and done. But, yeah, I mean, you got Eovaldi on the mound tonight. I think that's kind of the exact guy you want right now.
I was just about to say you couldn't want a better guy on the mound.
You don't want Scherzer up there, given how Scherzer plays. Like, Eovaldi's is nails in the playoffs. So, I mean, I'm going to assume that they might win this one here, but I don't want to make a call because we're already going to be wrong or right regardless once this comes out. So,
well, Zach Gallen either pitches his face off and he's amazing, or he gets hit really hard.
He's better. He's more good than he is bad, for sure. But against a couple of these teams in the playoffs specifically, he's been like super like high or low, depending on where you're going with it. I think he's going to understand the concept of like, hey, this is it. Like, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it now. And again, the Diamondbacks are good, and you have to think that they're going to fight back and win this one, especially at home. But Eovaldi, this Rangers team just feels good, but we can't say Team of Destiny because we were goddamn wrong about the Phillies. So I'm done. I'm done doing Team of Destiny.
You were wrong about the Phillies. I'm saying don't count out the Diamondbacks. A lot of people have counted out this team, and granted, a lot of people thought it was over when they played the Rangers, or not the Rangers, but the Phillies.
Or the Phillies, yeah.
So I mean, they're not out. I mean, it's never over till the fat lady sings. I will say this. I think the D-backs are one outfielder away from being truly right there, because Gurriel
they literally are. Oh, Gurriel was a fucking monster the last 2 series.
At the plate defensively, he's dog shit.
Yeah, it's horrible. But you're not paying him to play D.
I know you're not paying him, but just imagine the young kid out there. I'm just saying. Just imagine the offspring of Andrew Jones.
Yeah.
Andrew Jones. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, that's going to be amazing when that happens. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, they're obviously not out of it. It's not over yet. I don't know if he's going to get called up next year or the year after, but it's not over yet anyway. There's more to be done here, but the Rangers putting an onslaught on offense yesterday. Diamondbacks coming back and scoring 7 by the end of the game. Diamondbacks scoring 9 in game 2. Like we've had a 2-run game, we've had a walk-off, and we've had 2 blowouts. So we can't have anything tonight. And I don't know. It's a fun World Series, and it's not getting a lot of credit that it's due because it is Diamondbacks, Rangers. It's not like fucking Yankees, Dodgers, or whatever. But I like seeing teams like this, and these teams are fun. And I don't know. I'm kind of rooting for the Rangers a little bit. I'm sorry, dude.
It's difficult for me to root for the Rangers since I live here now.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to see the hometown team, pull off a comeback, go 7. They got to win out. So for them, this has got to be, it's all or nothing. It's now or never.
Right.
Leave with you tonight.
This is a must-win game. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, it is. What are your keys to this game, Vince, if you had to give keys to the game?
Keys to this game is finding a way to slow down the offense because the Rangers hit a lot of home runs. So pitching around the corners of the zone, trying not to leave any balls in the middle of the plate is going to probably be the advantage that they need here. And then also just driving in runners on base because they had a lot of stranded guys last game too. So the Diamondbacks scored a lot at the end of the game. Try to score a little in the beginning of the game and get that momentum on your side.
To your point, consistent offense is definitely something that needs to be seen throughout the course of this game. And not only that, how Zach Gallen goes this game. Is he the Zach Gallen that was the potential Cy Young leader in the first half of the season, or is he the Zach Gallen in the second half of the season that gets hit really fucking hard? Also, another key to the game, how do both bullpens perform in later innings depending on the score?
Yep.
So Of course, that might seem a little broad, but at the end of the day, it definitely boils down to pitching, especially in the playoffs. So
As it usually does. As it usually does.
Yes. So I will say that. Now, if these guys are to pitch and pitch correctly, they should be hydrated. If they're going to hydrate themselves, why not do it with our good friends at Liquid IV?
This portion of today's show is brought to you by Liquid IV. That's right, the hydration brand we've all come to know and love is with ya boys. It's festival, outdoor party, and adventure season, and proper hydration is essential. You don't want to miss out on the summertime activities while they're still here. Liquid IV will help you hydrate and stay in the game. I've been using Liquid IV for a few years, and I found a ton of uses for it. Going to sleep after a day-long soiree. This is the product that helps me rehydrate and recover. I brought them with me on hikes, long bike rides, vacations, and maybe most importantly, bachelor party weekends. The beauty of it all is that Liquid IV comes in a small, convenient package that you just add to a bottle of water and drink away. One stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the Taxi Squad podcast code, TAXISQUADPODCAST, no spaces, at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using the promo code Taxi Squad podcast at liquidiv.com. The NFL! I don't know if you can get copyrighted if you sound like absolute horse shit, but that's what we're getting right there.
That's our goal every week, is to just murder these intro songs with da-na-nas.
NFL Week 8 in the books. We have...
Got some action.
We have some action in a couple different places, Mike. Trade deadline has come.
Yeah.
Trade deadline has gone. It was a bit of an... Usually the trade deadline for the NFL isn't insane. You get a lot in the MLB. You get a lot in the NBA. This one was middle ground. The Bears were active again.
Bears.
And a lot of people moved around. So we have a list of what's going on right now. I think we start with our boy Montez Sweat.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yep. You want to kick it off?
I'm not positive. I think it was fucking stupid. You just let history repeat itself once again. I don't understand the thought process of the management of this fucking franchise. You suck.
You should say how you really feel.
You're 2-5 or 2-6.
Not good is what they are.
Not good. You're not good. Your best win of the season against a shitty Raider team. Your quarterback's basically done. You're probably not going to re-sign him to his 5th-year option because he has been horrific and you haven't invested the correct things around him for him to be remotely good.
I mean, they brought Claypool in.
Yeah. So last year you traded for fucking Chase Claypool, and he turned out great, which was the 33rd pick. Turned out to be the 33rd pick.
Yep.
In the NFL draft.
Who ended up being Joey Porter Jr.
Who's turning out to be electric.
And his passer rating against him right now is 9.4.
Dude, it is so bad. Okay, so you did it once, and now you let lightning strike twice in the same fucking place, and you go sign a 28-year-old defensive end. Granted, who's good. He's not amazing. He's not a fucking world beater.
Very
You give
good.
up a second round. Very good. Okay, fine. You give up another second round draft pick for a guy who's going to have to be re-signed at the end of this season and has given you no guarantee that he wants to re-sign. Has actually come out and said that he wants to become a free agent. Yeah. So you gave up a second round fucking draft pick for a rental when you're not even competing, and he's going to walk at the end of this season, and you're going to have Ugats to show for it. I have zero understanding of what this fucking team is thinking about right now. I have zero understanding of what the management is trying to do. Eberflus is good as fucking gone. If he isn't, it's the most
did you see the report today?
What's that?
Ryan Poles says Eberflus is the coach of this team. I have 100% faith in everything that Eberflus does. Which you have to say. I will say that. But
I know he has to say that, but come the fuck on. If I'm Kevin Warren right now, I am just blowing it up. I'm firing everybody. I'm literally firing everyone as we speak. How you doing? Keep it moving. Hit the restart button.
I don't have the exact same reaction as you do. Montez Sweat has not missed this snap in his entire career. I know there's a lot of conversations about San Francisco got Chase Young for less. Montez Sweat is a better player on aggregate in the NFL. What you think when these things happen, when trades like this happen, that you need to extend a guy, you assume that the team has had a conversation with the agent before the trade goes through. I was reading stuff today in The Athletic that said otherwise, that there was no conversation about that happening, which does concern me. If there is a conversation about, hey, like Montez Sweat's going to sign with the Bears long-term after this, then I think it's a great move because I don't think you're getting Montez Sweat in the second round regardless of where your position is on the draft. If they don't end up re-signing him, this might be the worst move of all time. So
they're not going to end up re-signing him. Why the fuck would he want to stay here, dude? Why in the fuck would he want to stay here?
Maybe he sees a future. Maybe he wants to be a monster of the Midway. There's other things besides just like, hey, this team's a garbage fire sometimes. He probably sees a lot of good talent on the team, too. Well, I know.
Sometimes.
I know.
This team's a garbage fire sometimes.
But the defense is usually pretty good. Not Ixnay this year, obviously, but it could be coming back around at some point. If you sign a deal, the deal that he's going to sign, this isn't going to be a 1-year, 2-year deal. This is going to be 4 or 5 years. We're looking into the future considerably, knowing that they're going to have good draft capital.
The only way I would have made this deal for this player would have been on the contingency that you walk through these doors and you're signing a long-term deal with us.
That's exactly what I'm saying, which still could be true, but I'm reading the contrary.
Right.
So that's not great, but I do like him as a team.
Why the fuck do I want to play for the Chicago Bears at this stage of the game if I'm a top-flight defensive end in the league? I want to go play for a team that's competing. I don't want to play in the cold. I want to go play in a dome.
I know, but it's cool to be a Bear sometimes, Mike. That's all we can kind of rest our hat on.
Yeah. You want to go play for this fucking... Oh, my God. He's horrible. He's horrible. He has to bring
Eberflus, not Sweat, just for people know.
No, not Eberflus. He has to bring in defensive assistants outside of the organization or defensive specialists to help him coach defense, which is supposedly his claim to fucking fame.
Right.
I digress. I don't get the trade. I think it's a waste of fucking time. I think it's a waste of money, and I think the Bears are right back to NFL purgatory where we have been the past fucking decade.
Yep.
Here we go again.
I see your side, and I'm hoping that that's not the case. But knowing the Bears,
why didn't you go try and get fucking Kyler Murray?
I don't even know if I want him. Depends on when Double XP weekend is, if he's going to show up and play or not. So I'm going to avoid that at all times possible.
Or why don't you just totally get rid of anybody who's worth a shit? Trade Jalen Johnson for draft picks.
Well, he's gone.
Trade Justin Fields to the Atlanta Falcons for a fucking draft pick. Trade DJ Moore at this stage of the game. Just fucking break it down to the seams.
Yep.
Fuck it.
We've never done it before.
Trade Colt Kmet. Trade everybody. And then just suck and get 1-2 pick. Go Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's restart on a good note.
They might have that anyway.
Okay, what the fuck are they going to do with it?
I'd rather have players on our team if we're going to get those two guys than have no one. I'm with you. This is going to be an off-season.
You don't even have a defense right now other than Tremaine Edmonds.
Right.
TJ Edwards has been an over.
Jaquan Brisker, if he can stay healthy, is good.
Brisker's great. I think, the young kid out of Washington, I forget his name, the kid who always dresses up like Spider-Man. I like him.
Cornerback?
Yeah.
Tyreek Stevenson?
No, he's good. He's also going to be a good player. Yeah. There are some picks here that you could build around that are
Kyler Gordon.
Kyler Gordon.
Yeah.
I like Kyler Gordon. I like Stevenson. I like Brisker. Get rid of Eddie Jackson. Keep Tremaine Edmonds in the middle.
You do need to trade Eddie Jackson ASAP.
But what I don't understand is why aren't you investing in the internal core of the defensive line if you're running a 4-3 defense? It makes zero fucking sense to me.
You want those ends, though. I mean, you should be investing in D tackles, but that's a premier position. It's a premier position.
Yeah, you know what another fucking premier position is? A glass eater in the fucking middle, like Jalen Carter.
Could have had him.
that you
Darnell Wrights look good.
Yeah, he's good. He's not Jalen Carter good.
Yeah, I know. But Jalen Carter, I don't know if he comes to the Bears and plays the same way because of this dysfunction.
Okay, and then you got half of that defense, which is a fucking Madden cheat code, by the way.
Yeah.
It's stifling.
Yeah. And speaking of that, Kevin Byard, never knew how to say his name. He ends up going to Philly. The rich get richer.
Yep.
Free safety, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Quite a pickup for them. Chase Young goes to San Francisco.
Which, for a third... Okay, how does Chase Young...
He's worse.
How?
He hasn't played as well. He has one goddamn move. He hasn't been good since the beginning. He's essentially been a bust since he got drafted. Still has a lot of talent. Still a young guy. But I'd have Montez Sweat every single day that ends in Y before Chase Young, for sure, which is why the value is there. And also, Chase Young misses games. And Montez Sweat doesn't miss games.
Fair. I'm not sure they'd pick a guy that's on the field, but I just think a second-round draft pick was way too much.
It is a lot. A couple other people that moves. Josh Dobbs to Minnesota to play for Kirk Cousins.
If I'm Minnesota, why aren't you trying to take a shot at Kyler at that point?
Jameis. Go get Jameis, dude.
Stop it with Jameis. Jameis, the window's closed.
I would rather have Jameis Winston than Josh Dobbs. You could have picked up Josh Dobbs on free agency the last 3 years, honestly. But it'll be interesting to see how that ends up working out. But, I don't know if this is the guy that you want to go get. I'm surprised they didn't try to go say, hey, Detroit, can we get Teddy Bridgewater back and try to run him back a little bit?
Can we talk about the legend of Josh Dobbs' career?
Yeah.
And, how many teams he's been on?
Pittsburgh, I know that.
Okay. So he's been on Pittsburgh.
And Cleveland, right?
Right. Drafted in 2018 to the Steelers, right? Then goes to the Browns, gets released by the Browns, goes back to the Steelers. Then back up for the Titans.
Who played last year?
Arizona.
He played last year for the Titans.
Right. Then goes to the Titans after he gets dropped by the Browns, goes back to the Steelers. So Steelers twice. So you kind of jump around the Northeast a little bit. Then you go to Tennessee. Then you go to Arizona. Now you're back in the fucking Midwest. This guy has been all over the map.
5 teams, 5 years.
I would keep my place in Arizona and just go rent an apartment in Minneapolis at this stage of the game, and I'd just live here full time.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't pay a lot for him, but it is a funny little move, and I think they're just really, really buying in on this first couple good starts, but he hasn't been that great the last couple weeks anyway.
I don't understand why you don't go look at a Carson Wentz who, played at North Dakota State.
Stinks.
That would be what? Because he had one bad season?
Oh, he's had every season's been bad besides his rookie year.
At least he's athletic enough to move outside the pocket.
Sorta. Did you watch him in Washington last year? The Bears ate his lunch, and they were bad.
True.
Carson Wentz. I don't want that at all because he's also complains a lot too. So I'm like,
his fall to grace was quick. Mm-hmm. It was real wow, this guy's the best thing ever, and then he sucked.
I think he's a guy with immense talent, and he literally doesn't have that dog in him. We say everybody's a dog. He's not a dog. He's got none in him. Mecole Hardman goes back to KC and immediately scores. Rich get richer. Yeah. Rich get richer, dude. Mecole Hardman's not good on the Jets. Mecole Hardman's real good on the Kansas City Chiefs because they have Patrick Mahomes in that offense.
Well, Patrick Mahomes played like dog shit last week, and we'll get into that.
We'll get to that. Obviously Claypool to Miami. We've talked about that ad nauseum. Besides that, I'd say everything's right about normal with the rest of these guys.
Donovan Peoples-Jones to Detroit. That's kind of a vertical move. Leonard Williams to Seattle. That's a move. For him, at least.
Yeah.
To play, Leonard Williams is a dog. USC
Get him out of there.
And now he can go play on a really good defense in the middle there that has a great secondary. And if he can do his job in the middle there, they'll be even better than what they are now.
He's a big boy. I think it'll go well. The Seattle, I wrote it in here already. I need to stop betting against them. Decent team. He might be able to get in the playoffs this year, so you gotta root for the guy.
Yeah, I think that they might catch a wild card spot in the NFC West, but who knows? I mean, at this stage of the game,
they might win the division. They're winning it right now, I think.
They might win the division, and I mean, with DK coming back. You never know.
Yep. That's the trade deadline. Anything else you want to talk about that, or should we get into skip or rip?
I'm ready to skip it or, in fact, rip it.
Rock on, kid.
Give people an idea. I'm making my comeback, people.
10-6. It's not a comeback. It's a wash.
Well, last week I got you. And then I picked up one. I was down 4 games, so now I'm still down 3 games.
Okay.
So don't call it a comeback quite yet.
We won't, because it's a tie. It's a tie week.
I'm 1 week away, people. I'm 1 week away.
All right, bro. Whatever you need to sleep at night, dude. Whatever you need to sleep at night.
Ready?
Okay, we're gonna start it off here with Bucks at Bills Thursday night football matchup. Skip or rip?
I could skip it.
I kind of want to too. It is what it is. Bills beat the Bucks. They should have done that. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
First game on Sunday, Jets at Giants, skip or rip?
I think we got to rip this one.
What
because, wow.
horseshit. Was it Minnesota, Iowa all over again? Kinda.
I mean, wow.
Tyrod Taylor goes out of the game. You're like, oh, man, who are they going to bring in?
7 people injured in the first half of this game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tommy DeVito comes in. He doesn't look like he knows how to throw a football.
I
know he's a lot of this. I saw him come in. I'm like, look at Tom. He's playing for the Giants.
Sandwich on the fucking sideline. He's like, oh, I gotta go in the game.
I play for the New York Giants. You're like, fuck off.
He's the type of guy that walks into the Italian deli and says, "Give me the prosciutto," and he spells it pro-shoot.
Yep. And his uncle is fucking. His uncle's that guy's nephew's friend, like that kind of shit. He goes in there 2 for 7, -1 yard, because he doesn't seem like he knows how to throw a football. This is that constant conversation of, what the fuck, dude? If you're a quarterback in the NFL, how do you look so unsure about everything? Even if you're the third string, you at least played football in your life. Like, where did he go to college? Like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
I have no idea.
Let's look at his
name. Is Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito. I done, dude.
Tommy DeVito.
He's a pretty handsome guy. He goes to what college? I don't fucking know. Is he related to Danny DeVito? No. He played football.
DeVito,
he played football in Illinois.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Syracuse and Illinois.
He was on Illinois when they were all right, too. I actually remember him a little bit, but he sucked in Illinois. Why is he playing in the NFL?
Nobody pays attention to, come on, let's face it. Nobody pays attention to that. Now, Tommy DeVito should also be known that Tommy DeVito was also a character in the great film Goodfellas, Martin Scorsese film. So there you go. He's got a great name.
Tommy DeVito made more impact in a Martin Scorsese film than he
also got whacked.
He got whacked.
They fucking whacked him.
The Jets might as well have fucking whacked him this game.
That was for the number he did on Jimmy Bats.
Saquon Barkley, 128 yards, 38 rushes. A lot of workload for him this week. And Zach Wilson did just enough to let them win. That's kind of the tail of the tape.
Wilson needs to do right now, and just hope that Aaron Rodgers can come back at week 14.
They might accidentally stumble into a little playoff spot, and they actually might be really good with Aaron Rodgers.
Listen, if Aaron Rodgers comes back for the playoffs,
he was playing. He was throwing around in sweatpants. He got surgery like fucking 3-4 weeks ago.
Those gray sweats.
Yeah, he's just hanging dong, throwing long balls. I'm like, oh boy, I'm glad I can be an Aaron Rodgers fan these days. So, yeah, I mean it was the worst offensive showing I've ever seen.
It was a horrible game.
2 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and then 1 field goal for the Jets in overtime to win the game. Just absolutely atrocious. Looked like a Bears game. That's that. Looks like
a pair of shitty teams.
Yeah, just ass. Okay, moving on. Jaguars, Steelers, skip it or rip it?
I think we gotta rip this one because Money Mitch got in the game.
Money Mitch did get in the game. Shout out to Mitch.
Money Mitch.
Jaguars are good. Jaguars are a good team.
They are good.
They've won, 5 in a row now? They won 1 and 2 to start the season. They won 5 in a row now.
Yeah. I mean, the Jags are a legitimate team right now and could very well take that division.
Hey, best thing, what's his name? Urban Meyer ever did was draft Etienne.
Probably. I think he knew that he needed to pair up Trevor Lawrence with his guy, and They've grown well together. I mean, now let's face it, the AFC South is a shit division.
Atrocious.
There is not one quarterback in that division that's worth a red cent, maybe next to C.J. Stroud, and that's still a very young team. I mean, let's face it, the Jaguars got the division on lock, and they will return to the playoffs this season and most likely win their division minus a giant catastrophe.
Agreed. And Mitch Trubisky is worse than Kenny Pickett. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Somehow he is. Thank you. Thank you for coming to our TED Talk. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's keep it moving.
All right, moving on. We got Eagles at Commanders. I'm going to say rip. Just because I said it last week, the Commanders played the Eagles hard. And God damn it if they didn't. One score game. The Commanders are a lot worse than the Eagles are. Sam Hartman might be okay at quarterback.
Sam Hartman is good at quarterback, better than Mitch, also a UNC product.
Yeah.
I will say this much. I think that the Commanders on defense definitely show up to the call. Riverboat Ron
maybe
knows
not
how to
anymore.
Zach Del Rio's just got to be sitting there like that meme from I Think You Should Leave. Like, what the fuck?
Well, dude, their defense has been pretty horseshit the last couple weeks, and they still gave up 38 to the. Like, they should be a better defense given the guys that they have in their coaching staff.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm just stating the kind of obvious that, personally, they play the Eagles really hard. And there's always that one team that gives you a smidge of a challenge in your division.
No matter what, right. They play you hard. It doesn't matter what throw the records out kind of game.
The Commanders just basically threw their bid in to tank the rest of the season. I'm surprised they didn't move Terry McLaurin. I'm surprised they didn't move more people, but that defense now is just basically down to the bricks. And then I'm surprised the Bears didn't try and go for Jonathan Allen on that defense. I think that would have made more sense than Montez Sweat, in my opinion, because here's a guy came out and basically said, I'm disgruntled. I don't want to fucking be here. I'm sick of losing. So go to another franchise that loses more.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like that came out and everybody's like, "Oh, that sounds like a guy that plays for the Bears." So he wouldn't have wanted to come to the fucking
the
Bears.
Tried to sign De'Aaron Payne in the offseason. That didn't work.
Yep.
I personally believe that Jonathan Allen's a dog, but not playing on it that he wants to be on. So
he's on the Commanders. So is what it is.
But AJ Brown is officially back in. Dear Lord,
he's so good,
psychotically good.
He's so good. If only he had Will Levis when he was in Tennessee, which we'll get to.
Maybe. You never know.
Rams at Cowboys.
We could skip it. I'll just say, whoa, wasn't expecting that.
I think the Cowboys are a little better than we've been saying. I think the Rams are a decent amount worse than what we were saying. That's about all I want to say about that. Well,
I think after Stafford fucked his thumb up, I have no idea what he was doing in that game still. It didn't make a lot of sense.
He likes to play through injury, and the older you get, the harder it gets to do that.
100%.
Okay, Vikings at Packers.
Gotta rip it.
I'm going to say rip. Kirk Cousins, god damn it.
Poor guy.
It's weird that we're rooting for him. I'm not going to lie.
I love him.
I love him too. He's such a nice dude.
Such a nice guy.
And they were starting to turn it around, and now he's out for the foreseeable future. What is it, Achilles?
He's out until early second half of next season. I'd be surprised if they don't draft a quarterback this year. I don't think he has a choice.
He's on a contract year too, so he might be moving teams. And they're planning on starting Josh Dobbs. Okay.
Serviceable.
Jordan Love sucks. And it is awesome.
Jordan Love is exposed, and it's great. And we're all like,
so bad. And I'm so jacked. And I know we suck too. So any Packers fans that are around here are like, hey, the Bears, we're horrible. We get that. But you haven't dealt with this. You haven't seen what this is. Welcome to the team. Like, here's a shoulder to cry on. Here's a blankie. Like, this is what it feels like to do this shit.
Welcome to the show, people.
Right.
Welcome to what it's like to root for a god-awful fucking franchise. Not saying that your franchise is that awful, but for awful
it is right now.
That's what we've been dealing with for a long time.
So you hold on to him, and you think he's the guy for a really long time like we do, and then hopefully that never comes to pass, and you just waste 3 years. That's my plan.
Yep. I hope they waste more than 3 years. I hope it's a decade of just shit quarterbacks in Green Bay.
Agreed. But big ups to Captain Kirk. Sucks that
big ups
happened.
to Captain Kirk. Get well soon, cuz.
All right. Falcons at Titans, immediately ripping this.
Oh, Will Levis, man.
Whoa.
Ooh.
DeAndre likes him.
Yeah, well, how can he? He got 3 touchdowns on 3 catches. I mean, that's sick.
He's looking for his guys. Heineke ended up coming in, which we were talking about last week. About fucking time, Arthur Smith. I think, and also it was a Ritter injury, so that's the only reason why he came in. He said they're still starting Ritter, but I wouldn't, just given that Heineke played better. I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Will Levis was just a man fucking amongst boys in that game. 19 for 29, 238, and 4 TDs. Come on now.
He looked really good. I think that girl breaking up with him for Morgan Wallen is the greatest thing that ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Like,
I think it's awesome.
It's working out.
What was her name? Gia something?
I want to say like Dud or Dudley or Dude or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Dud.
I don't know.
She
was all over Instagram for a minute, and then she vanished like most.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She's a swell-looking gal, but Will Levis,
swell-looking gal, you see.
Swell-looking gal, you see. But Will Levis out there with biceps the size of a fucking Adonis, throwing dimes.
Yeah, he was a god. Yeah. He played really well. Everybody kind of got in on this offense. He was spreading the ball out really well, and he got the ball to DeAndre Hopkins. And when you do that, usually good things happen.
And Atlanta, for the record, is not a terrible defense. They're actually
That's
fairly
their bread
good
and butter.
Right.
That's why they are where they are.
Right.
Don't be
4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 3 touchdowns for DeAndre, 4 receptions. That's all he needed.
Yep.
I mean, he was spreading the ball around all over the place. I think they look good. I think this is definitely something moving forward that Will Levis might be better than we thought he was.
Yep, and maybe he should have dropped in the draft, but who knows? Because this is only one game, and we're not going to overreact.
Got a quick turnaround. We'll find out tomorrow, or we'll find out this evening if the hype is real.
We shall see.
We shall see, people.
Patriots at Dolphins. I kind of want to skip it. The Patriots suck.
I'm okay. The Patriots aren't good. They do this every year. They do this every single year. The Patriots will show up and just be like, "Oh yeah, see, we're not that bad," and then they're that bad.
Dolphins are warming up for Germany. That's all that was. Saints at Colts. Kind of want to rip it.
All right, rip it.
Are the Saints good?
Kinda.
Kind of, right? Like, are they gonna win that division?
Rashid Shaheed, man, where the fuck did that guy come from?
Bouse.
Yeah, but how many people probably left him on their fantasy bench for somebody else, and he blows up, and you're like, wait, what the fuck?
Because he was good week 1 and kind of 2, and then fell off a little bit, and now he's 3 receptions, 153 and a TD.
He's kind of just a must start for boom or bust.
Well, if Derek Carr is playing well, then yes. I think the X factor for the Saints is Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill got in the game a lot. When he's kind of like that little Weapon X type deal, they generally are able to spread their offense around a little bit more.
I don't disagree. I think that right now they're at that weird in-between point. I'm surprised that they didn't try and go get Devontae Adams. I would have.
Yeah, I mean, what a beautiful offense that would be if you had Devontae Adams to that. But Minshew did Minshew things. Taylor, 95 yards. Colts end up losing. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games for the rest of the year, but
Jonathan Taylor can still run the ball like he's accustomed to doing. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think Anthony Richardson's the answer there in Indianapolis. I
think he is if he could stay healthy.
Personally, I don't think it's going to last for him long term. I think he will be a career backup before he reaches the pinnacle.
He was so good until he got injured, though.
He was good. He looked like Justin Fields.
Yeah, which is really good until you're not. So,
right.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not going to write him off yet. He looked
like the Fields prototype, A1.
I'm not going to write him off yet. I think Fields can be successful in a different offense, too, but we're also the Bears. So, it is what it is. All right.
Bears.
Texans at Panthers.
It was the battle of the rookie quarterbacks.
And congratulations.
Congratulations. Keep it moving.
Don't win anymore. Don't win anymore. Is all.
Don't win anymore. We need Marvin Harrison.
We
Jr.
need Marvin Harrison, and we probably need Caleb too. Browns at Seahawks. My only note is, I mean,
did you bet on the Browns? Did you literally put money on the Browns?
I didn't, no. But every time we make picks, I just go against the Seahawks. I need to stop. PJ Walker is probably better than Deshaun, even though he didn't play well this week.
I wouldn't say he's better than Deshaun. I just think
right now.
Deshaun Watson came out and said, if I could be on the field, I would, and blah, blah, blah.
Fuck off. No way.
And I just think it was maybe a flash in the pan. You haven't played in a year. Maybe you're cooked. Maybe it's over. Maybe your time has come. You're done. Maybe you're just meant to ride the bench now for $240 million.
Or maybe he only plays well when he's getting rubbed off all the time. Who knows?
Maybe he needs handies.
He could. Some boys need handies.
He could need handies, especially playing on the Browns. Maybe he's not used to playing in cold weather.
He could. Geno Smith is still surprisingly good, and I'm gonna have a hard time betting against the Seahawks for the rest of the season this season.
Geno's a dog.
It's weird. It's so weird to me. It doesn't make any sense.
Geno's a dog, cuz.
Bengals and 49ers.
Bengals and 49ers. Hate to say I want to rip it. I want to rip it because Joey B gave it to him, and the Bengals are
back.
They're back, babe.
It's finally happened. Cincinnati was like, when are they going to be back? And I know, and that's kind of what everybody's been saying, where it's like they're eventually going to click. They get off to the season slow, but like we were 7 weeks in, and we're like, Jesus Christ, like what is going on? Like when are they going to get here? Welcome. They're here. They're 4-3 now. Winning record. Joey B plays well. He's getting the ball to his guys. Jamar Chase has a fucking great game, 100 yards and a touchdown. And it gets a little difficult on San Francisco when you have to lean on Purdy a lot. And he threw the ball 31 times, 365 good yardage, 2 interceptions, not what you're looking for.
I'm surprised he played past concussion protocol.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Sammy D season.
I was hoping for Sammy D season. It didn't happen. I think Kirk Cousins may be a viable option for them if they don't re-sign him in Minneapolis. I think he would be great in a Shanahan offense, considering he played for him.
Could be. So. But I think they're gonna lean on Brock, and hopefully he can come back. But there's a lot more than just quarterback play on the San Francisco 49ers that were the issue in this game. But they need to win another fucking game because they were undefeated, and now they're going 3 in a row on the other end. So. Right the ship, 49ers. Right the ship.
I mean, this does happen to them every now and again. Christian McCaffrey, though, scores, I think, in 17 games in a row.
Yep. Because
you draft him in fantasy, you look like a fucking genius.
Yep. Until you're just always worried about the injury. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Yeah. He's a great player.
Always.
True. Chiefs, Broncos.
How?
Fuck, dude. First time since 2015 that the Broncos beat the Chiefs.
It's me.
Hi. Yeah.
She's the problem. It's her. She wasn't there. And Patrick Mahomes was sick.
Yeah, it was his flu game.
Was battling illness. He didn't play well.
I think get rid of all the turnovers and the Chiefs blow them out, but they didn't because they didn't score at all. I think this is a flash in the pan. I don't think the Chiefs are that worried about it. And I think the Broncos are really happy they finally beat Patrick Mahomes.
What I would like to bring up, though, is something.
Okay, do that.
Patrick Mahomes this season. Let's get a idea of his stats.
Yeah.
And remember this. This season, Patrick Mahomes has totaled 15 total touchdowns and 8 interceptions with a passer rating of 95.8.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Cool, right? Okay. Let's look at good old Danger.
Okay.
Good old Danger Russ. Danger Russ this season. 16 total touchdowns.
Yep.
4 interceptions.
Ooh. Passer rating?
So 45. Anyways,
that's where it falls, dude. Because that's the thing. It's like
I'm just saying the numbers are. If we're going statistics,
yeah,
the numbers are right there.
Their defense plays poorly, for sure. The Broncos throw the ball a lot more than the Chiefs do because they have to, because they're often playing from behind. And he has a bajillion incompletions. It takes some way more plays to get down there. I'm not saying that they're definitely not the same quarterback. They're fucking definitely not the same quarterback. But it is funny when you see stats like that.
The numbers look
until you get the quarterback rating.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're efficient,
Who's
but they don't
talking
have
about
a running game. They
quarterback
don't have an
rating?
offensive line. They don't have a defense. That's a formidable team in KC.
Yeah, I mean,
Goes
bring
to show
bring
you,
Russell
for us
Wilson
as
to
a team.
Chicago. We're good.
Oh God, no! Please.
Cooked, washed, cooked, done.
Done. Stick a fork in them. But
Chiefs
yeah,
will win
I mean,
next
this
week.
was
Chiefs will win next
probably
week. I mean, it's,
by a landslide.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at now. But good for you, Denver. Get one of those morale victories. Couple more games here. Ravens at Cardinals, closer than I thought it was going to be, but
skip it.
Ravens win.
Yeah,
I kind of want to skip this too. Bears at Chargers. They just got fucking sloshed.
Velus Jones, man, what a draft pick. That's all I got.
I know. They fucking smoked them. The Bears suck. The Chargers suck a little bit less. There you go. Lions at Raiders. Or Raiders at Lions, excuse me. Lions bounce back. Bounce back.
Jahmyr Gibbs season.
Yep. When Monty comes back, that's a formidable 1-2 punch. Monty's definitely going to take that Jamal Williams role, I think. But yeah, 152 yards and a TD kind of took the weight off of Jared Goff a little bit. Amon-Ra getting 108 yards. This is just a classic Lions win. This is becoming consistent now. They're 6-2 on the season. They're winning the fucking NFC North now. There's no arguments there.
Sam Laporta looking to be the tight end of the draft.
What a pick. Yeah.
What
Michael Mayer, where you at?
He ain't nowhere to be found. He's playing on the other team, and he's not very good. I would say that the Raiders just fired Josh McDaniel.
Supposedly, we didn't say that.
Yeah, supposedly got fired in a Halloween costume. Conspiracy pod.
I don't know about all that. Halloween costume, Mark Davis. It'd be funny if that's the case, though.
So the story rolling around the internet right now is that he got fired on Halloween Day, dressed up as Mark Davis, and Mark Davis went to his office, and then they ordered in P.F. Chang's, and then he had a fortune cookie that said, "You're fired, son," which I don't believe.
I don't, but that'd be awesome. I think the reason he got fired is because of fucking
he sucks.
Absolute, like, horrible coaching consistently for every time, everywhere that he's been, besides New England with Belichick doing offensive coordinating. That's the only place he can coach. Besides that, he sucks major donkey dong. And now they're paying Gruden, and they're paying McDaniels, and they're cash poor. What the fuck? This team is a mess. Mark Davis isn't going to be able to pay the taxes on the team, let alone pay the fucking guys that he hired to coach his teams.
He's the owner of the Las Vegas Aces, and they just won 2 championships in a row. So.
Yeah, so they got about fucking $12 that they'll be able to throw at the team, and hopefully it band-aids them up. It's going to be
right.
The money in the WNBA and the NFL is quite different.
They should have kept that fucking guy who was the interim head coach after Gruden. He was great.
Rich Bisaccia. Yes.
They should have kept him. He was great for them. They loved him.
Now they have New York Giants legend Antonio Pierce, the linebackers coach, moving up to being the head coach.
Who's from the Bay. And he says he grew up a Raider fan, and this is like a dream come true for him. So maybe, who knows?
He could turn it around. I think Josh McDaniels is an absolute fucking cancer for any team that he's on. So good. Get his ass out of there.
Let it be known that they're also planning on benching Jimmy Garoppolo for the rest of the season. I don't know.
Brian Hoyer?
No, some other guy.
Okay, good luck.
I forget his name. Good luck to them. But the Lions take a dub. Great game. Probably could have played a little bit cleaner, but they have a bye week. They're going to come back healthy from a bye week. It's going to be an interesting game. We'll see.
Agreed.
Could be great. All right, let's get our week nine.
Could be great.
Could be good. Could be good. We're going to see.
Let's get our week 9 picks on here, and we'll let you guys.
Paid a lot of money for Jimmy Garoppolo. Hasn't done a fucking thing but get jerked off at a brothel.
We'll see.
Handsome fellow.
Likes prostitutes.
Illinois. Prostitutes just give it away to him for free. He's like, what am I supposed to do?
All right, we're going to get our picks in, and we're going to let you guys have a wonderful weekend and hopefully get some wins yourself. So,
get some.
Week 9, Thursday night football. Titans at Steelers. Who do you got, Mike? Is Kenny Pickett playing?
I don't think so. I think Kenny Pickett's dealing with an AC joint injury, which aren't usually good.
Mitch v. Levis.
I think it is going to be a Mitch and Levis game. Let's see Kenny Pickett here. Kenny Pickett to be a game time decision for Thursday night's game.
Oh,
So that would tell me either he plays or plays half a game and comes out. I saw that injury on Sunday, and it did
didn't
not
look
look
good.
good. So I'm going to roll with momentum. And if I'm a betting man, I'm going to bet Will Levis.
I am doing the same, dude. I will take the Titans as well. I like this Will Levis. Now we got Dolphins at Chiefs, 9 a.m. game in Germany.
Well, if you're going to do anything, I'd bet the over.
Yeah.
For the record, bet the over. I am going to say that Chiefs comeback game, they win.
So there's a little birdie that tells me that the Dolphins are headed out to Germany on Monday, and the Chiefs are heading out there tomorrow. So they're only going to have one practice, supposedly. I don't know if that's going to adjust if they're good or bad.
Practice here, they'll just take.
I know, but you get used to Germany. The timing in there, is that going to affect them at all? This feels like, because the thing is that the Dolphins need to beat a good team, and they can't do that. So this two sides of this coin. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I really regret it, but I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
All right,
we'll see how it goes.
One sentence says they're gonna win next week. Then he sees the matchup and he's like, "Wow, I'm riding the McDaniel train."
Hey man,
so
never know how it
works
goes.
Out for bold move, Cotton.
All right, Vikings at Falcons.
This game is I don't even know where to go. I'm just going to go with the Vikings because they play good defense, and I don't think they're going to have much of a chance to,
Josh Dobbs might play this game. It stinks like a Dolphins or a Falcons victory to me right now, though. Stinks like a Falcons victory.
Like a Falcons victory, eh?
Yeah, so I'm going to take the Falcons, and we'll see how it goes.
See how it works out for him, Cotton.
Bears at Saints.
Saints. I'm done.
The Bears fucking
done.
Suck.
Fuck them.
Bears suck. Rams at Packers.
Give me the Packers simply due to the fact that Brett Rypien is going to be starting for the Rams.
So bad. Brett Rypien's so bad. I'm taking the Packers as well. Commanders at Patriots.
Kendrick Bourne goes down with a torn ACL.
Right when he was playing very well for that team.
Very, very well. Yeah, Commies just offloaded two of their best defensive pieces. I don't think it's going to be a good game for them. Give me the Pats.
I'm going to take the Commanders, and I'm going to do that because Sam Howell played well. And I do think when you get rid of a couple guys and other guys get their chance, they're fucking dogged up, ready to go. That's the only reason why.
They're dog shit and not ready to go.
I think they're going to be excited, and then it's going to go strictly downhill from there. That's where I'm taking
it. Okay. They are playing in Foxborough. Remember that.
True. Seahawks at Ravens.
Give me the Seahawks at Ravens.
In Baltimore.
Baltimore's a tough play to play. I'll take the Ravens.
I'm going to take the Ravens as well. I know I said stop betting against the Seahawks, but Ravens at home, I'm taking Ravens. Buccaneers at Texans.
Give me the Texans at home.
I like this is a hard week, dude.
I like that game.
This is a difficult week. I want to do the same thing, but the Texans just didn't look good this week. I'm going to take them because I'm going to ride high on the CJ Stroud train.
I think it's a comeback game. Although, Todd Bowles, great defensive coach, but
not a good head coach. I don't think he is.
Update for everybody in the World Series, tied 0-0 going into the top of the fourth.
Okay, so at this point, we still don't fucking know. Cardinals at Browns. Is this Kyler?
I'm just going to say go with the Browns.
Is Kyler coming back?
I have no idea. Probably not.
I'll take PJ as well. I'm going to go with the Browns because I don't know what the quarterback situation is, and they got no more Josh Dobbs. Colts at Panthers.
I don't know.
I know.
This is like the toilet bowl of a weekend.
It's the hardest week, though. All of these are going to be close games, I feel like.
It's a toss-up. I will say that they played a good defensive game. The Colts, though, with Jonathan Taylor running the ball, I think I'm going to lean Colts here because I think this is a good Minshew game. This is a good Jonathan Taylor rushing the ball for a lot of yards, touchdowns, etc.
I just think the Colts are a better team talent wise, and I also want the Panthers to lose, so I'm also going to take the Colts with you. All right, Shit Bowl again. Giants at Raiders.
What? I just fuck it. Flip a coin. Give me the Raiders. I don't know what more to say. Give me the Raiders. Maybe Antonio Pierce gives them the injection they need. For parity, you should take the Giants.
I won't because I can't trust in fucking Tommy DeVito, and I don't know if Tyrod Taylor's coming back. So I'd rather have Brian Hoyer. You can have the Giants. You want them?
No,
me either, man.
I chose first.
Tommy DeVito, you choose first every time.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I know. I'm not taking Tommy DeVito. I'm taking the Raiders.
Age before beauty, you beautiful bitch.
I guess so. Cowboys at Eagles. Thank you for calling me beautiful.
You're welcome. Give me the Eagles because
Eagles.
Yeah, give me the Eagles at home all day.
Yeah, the Cowboys won by too much last week to not take the Eagles. So I'm with you on that. Bills at Bengals.
Let's hope somebody doesn't die. Give me the Bengals.
Oh man.
Too soon? Too soon?
No, I kind of want the Bills in this one. Let's add some to the parity. This might be your whole comeback week right now if my picks don't.
I told
go
you
well.
this smells like a comeback week. Don't call it a comeback.
It's either going to be a bigger lead or a switcheroony in the leaderboards. We'll see how this goes. Final matchup: Chargers at Jets.
Give me the Chargers because offensively they're a lot better than the Jets. Jets might take them away. It depends on the weather as well, but I'm going to go with the Chargers this game.
They won by too much last week, and they have proven to not be consistent. I think that the Jets' defense is very good. Running with Zach. Give me the Jets at home.
Whoa!
Lots of parity this week.
This could be the weekend. We do have a lot of picks here that go against the grain, but time's going to tell people. I mean, is it the week that Mike chooses to come back?
This is the toughest week. There's a ton of parity.
This is a tough week. There's a lot of parity. We got a lot going on here. We're going to be paying attention to it all week. I might get a text message on Sunday to be like, "You sure about that?
You sure about that?"
Or I'm going to give it back to him in a couple different ways. So we'll see. As always, people, we thank you for joining us wherever you're joining us. If that's on any streaming platform, which you know we are on, and we appreciate you joining us. Then on top of that, now we're on the YouTubes or wherever you listen to your podcast. So if you're on YouTube right now, hit that little bell in the corner for us. We would appreciate that and share it to a fella or a friend, or maybe,
just maybe,
you want to, or just maybe, you want to share it to your family members. In particular, there's one family member that we're going to call out once again because it is that time of the year. You got a grandfather out there.
Yeah.
He might be a great guy. Either that or you got a father who you made a grandfather. They like the football, so share the pod with them because I bet you they get a giggle out of it with you. It's something that you could share together, not just football on Sundays, but the Taxi Squad boys on Thursdays. So if you know what to do what's good for you. I'm looking directly into your soul here.
Tommy DeVito. You go fucking very Italian right now. Looking right in your soul right here.
But with all that being said, people, we are back once again, and we'll see you next week. It's always a pleasure.
Peace.